Thank you very much, guys. TSM managed to survive 2 minutes longer in Game 2 of the series. Monty, I cut you off going into the game, so it's only fair we start with you at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, just taking a look at that game, in the preview show, I talked a lot about the Amazing versus Dandy matchup, and this was really kind of the crux of this game. If we start taking a look at the first replay, well, let's just get right into it. It's the First Blood replay, as we can pull that up here. It's when the teleport came in from Looper. And let's just talk a little bit about the scenario before we get things rolling. Right now, it was the 3 buff, okay? Now, TSM did chase Dandy off of his blue buff, forced him to go to red. So Amazing knows that he said it's red buff. He sees the proxy farming coming in. Go ahead, Crepo.
So I just want to point out, this play has to be like one of the most beautiful things I've seen in League of Legends in terms of reactive plays.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. And the trap they lay is amazing. So coming in, you do see he goes to the red buff. Then, because of the proxy farming, as the casters pointed out, there's a real threat of Amazing's blue buff being taken away. Instead of walking to Samsung White's blue buff, he instead decides to walk to his own, gets chased out, then has to react. But since the teleport's down from the level 1 where Dyrus stayed around to force Dandy off of blue, they can immediately collapse. And that's the real beauty of this play, is the planning. So let's go ahead and roll it right here and see what happens. So we do see Singe starting to recall at the moment. They're setting this play up. Now there is no chance of a cancel now that he's back in base. So he's going to go straight in. And we do see some crowd control coming down right there.
Tornado's beautiful here.
Yeah, the tornado is amazing. And hits amazing as well. There we go. Gets flung right back in. There's your first blood from Mata. And now this little duel right here. I know you love this.
This
Peter.
is not planned. Okay, this is the part that you couldn't plan. The Amazing kill, sure. Everyone can triple flash on Amazing to kill him and put him behind. This is ridiculously good play from both of them. Bjergsen flashes the very last second. It's just so close.
Unfortunately, it was Pawn that came out ahead, and it was Bjergsen that went on tilt. Freak, talk to me about the picks and bans and the team comps and what you liked about this early game.
Right, so the one thing is you talked about Pawn playing so well. That's what I loved, is that Samsung White are better because of a million little things you can't plan for, right? The teleport plays you were talking about. Pawn playful trickstered almost every single shuriken that Bjergsen Zed threw out over and over and over and over again, outplays him 1v1, while Turtle lost 2 recalls the bottom lane. The picks and bans, what I want to talk about, though, is the fact that here's how you're supposed to play red side bans, is you target ban, you give him the obvious first pick, and then you set yourself up for a bunch of other champions, right? The Malka got first pick, there's another couple of great top laners left for Looper to play, plus they got 2 high priorities for themselves. That's how you play the picks and bans, not Dyrus screwing himself out of any top laner you could play yet, and then getting mediocre, like, first round red side picks.
Obviously, as you guys can hear, there is a party going on in the background. We will do the best we can to not be distracted here, but Crepo, talk me through some of the mid-game play and just how they shut down Team Solo mid.
Yeah, last point on Freak's point. The thing is, White's not even using that because they're keeping their novelty counter pick for the top lane that was already first picked by TSM, and Pawn has been blind picking every match, and he will just blind pick again next match. The point I just want to highlight actually now is mid game what Danny does, and that's the second replay we have lined up for you guys. So if you can get that up on the screen right now, hopefully we'll get that. Yes, here we go. This is why Dandy is a god. Look what he does. If you roll the clip right now already, he will just jump right in between wards, perfectly into Amazing jungle. Amazing is not ready for this. You don't see Dandy at all, and he will just walk up, chunk Jarvan out, and this will lead eventually into a 2v1 dive as well. Look at how flustered Amazing is. He suddenly is like, okay, where is this guy coming from? I have 2 wards, like, I can't do anything. Dandy even has the respect to not collapse on that without vision. He forces him out, and then he eventually will go for the dive.
Yep, it's how he capitalizes on small stuff like this, you know? It's like a lot of maybe a North American jungler or a European jungler would have done this play where he jumped between those 2 wards where there's just this pocket of no vision for TSM. But Dandy has the cognizance to know, actually, we can kill their mid laner.
Well, it's just another example of him thinking like 3 moves ahead on the chessboard like we saw earlier. He's able to predict these movements, and he's able to capitalize on them in the way. And that's why I thought this matchup, Amazing versus Dandy, was going to be so crucial to this match. And, I mean, it really showed the kind of big difference between the players in this game.
And my eye has been on Bjergsen this entire time, right? This guy's the best mid laner in NA by far. His Zed is so feared. Him and High Zed probably tied for most feared best Zeds in North America. He's so used to crushing people. In both of these games that he's played Zed, Pawn has manhandled him on 2 different champions. So it must be like a huge mental blow to Bjergsen. He must be thinking, I can't play Zed anymore. I can't carry on these assassins. I have to fall back to Syndra or Orianna or something like that.
Well, here's what I want to know about that tower dive, though, because on one side, there's something very obvious about it, which is Pawn already won the 1v1, and Pawn was level 6 while Bjergsen was not. you usually dive 6 versus 5 matchups all the time. What I want to know is, was that entire jungle invade to flanking around the red buff to being behind the turret, was that planned off of I'm 6, he's 5, show up 40 seconds in advance, or was that an adaptation?
I think it was a setup for a buff,
there?
setup for the red buff, perhaps.
But I wonder, right? Like, there's a lot of ways to play this game, and if you know it's a 6v5, Pawn says that, what a free dive.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic play from Samsung White. It looks like they are planning that far ahead, and if they read TSM once more, we can maybe answer that question conclusively. The guys behind us are enjoying their Worlds experience. They just got a bunch of swag, hence the music and noise. So we're going to hop onto Twitter for a minute and check how you guys are enjoying Worlds all around the world. Earlier today, we asked you, how do you Worlds? And here's just a taste of what you guys have been saying. First one from @Calexum. He says, Worlds and muesli of doom as they root on TSM. Really hope that tastes good. Next up, @Nidorina says, how do you Worlds? With Mochi, which is probably the name of her dog, but also a Japanese dessert. Please don't eat your dog. And @LOL Oceania, show us how they Worlds down under at the EB Expo in Sydney, Australia. Good day, mate. For those that like to come fashionably late to the party, you can still share your photos with us. Hit us up @LOL Esports. Use the hashtag Worlds. We do have to flash away for 3.5 minutes, but after the break, it is right back into the quarterfinal showdown between Samsung White and Team Solo Mid. Stay with us.
Here. TSM. TSM. Last boy.
자르반 노플, 자르반 노플, 자르반 노플. 자르반 나이스. 이거 안 해볼까요? 봐봐. 쉴드 있어, 쉴드 있어. 지금도 있어. 이렇게 백 들어가자, 들어가자. 비드 좀 떴다. 비드 봐줘, 비드 봐줘. 노플. 시간 끌어. 나이스.
Wild Turtle doing what he can to orb walk this one out. Almost get enough damage. He does. They are able to lock down Pawn on this one, but they've lost 3 at what cost to keep the fight going here. Mats is forced out of this one as well after using everything on himself. This is a kid for Wild Turtle, but he flashes into the fight. He does get the auto attack down. The Nexus saved at half health here. Dandy tries to jump in. Does he have the resets? It's going to be 1 kill coming in. That goes on to Amazing.